Sisters, once again, we need to remember that God is with us always, and God does not want us to suffer. He does not simply put us in trouble or simply looks at our suffering. Most of the time, there is a tendency to forget what God has done in our lives. If you remember your past, if you just turn and look at the days you have spent, we will reflect and remember the greatness of God, the goodness of God, how God walked with us and how God lifted us up and how God solved our problems. People of Israel, the very people who wanted liberation, the very people who wanted freedom, the very people who cried out, who pleaded with God to free them from the hands of Pharaoh, from the slavery. As they started a journey, they were walking towards freedom. They were walking towards the promised land. Very often they forgot how God worked on behalf of them, how God provided with all what they wanted. Last Sunday, we read from the book of Isaiah, where God tells, I made the paths, the way in the wilderness, and I provided with water and made the springs to flow in the wilderness. That's how I brought the people from the land of Egypt, the slavery. But in today's reading, we see the people grumble, they argue, and they speak against God and Moses. They are not satisfied with the food that was given by God. And they are telling, you have brought us to this desert, the wilderness, to kill us. And always they had this word, always to argue with Moses, to say, we had enough food, we had enough water, we had enough meat and everything in Egypt. But they forgot. Though they had food, water, everything, they were slaves. They were slaves to Pharaoh. They did not have the freedom. Therefore, today we see God was so angry. God could not bear the people's grumble and the way they argued with Moses. We always reflect the mercy of God, the love of God, the compassion of God. But today you see, God was so angry. He could not bear, and he sent poisonous serpents, and many people died because of this. And again the people came to Moses, and they confessed. They told, we have spoken against you. We have spoken against God. Please plead with God. Protect us. May God come to our assistance. May God save us. Moses, forgetting all the complaints the people made against him, he knelt before God and prayed. And we know the rest of the story, how God protected, saved the people again. That is the love that we have from God. Every time we kneel before Him, every time we plead with Him, of course, we need to have faith in us. We should have the trust, first of all, in us. Then we place our total trust in God. We place our faith in God and pray to Him. The entire world is suffering today, not because of love, but because of war, revengeful thoughts. Innocent people are being killed. Innocent people are suffering, one side. On the other side, like the serpents, many evil things have entered into our lives, destroying us and taking us away from God, taking us away from peace, taking us away from good things, and we are being affected. Like Moses, we all need to kneel before God. And God commanded Moses to make a serpent and raise it. All those who looked at that bronze serpent were saved. Jesus tells in today's gospel, "When I am raised, you will believe in me. When I am raised, you will know who I am." When we kneel here, when we look at the cross, we will feel that Jesus died for us. Remember all the good things God has done in your life. Never forget the goodness of God. Never forget the generous blessings that we all have received from God. Each time when you kneel and look at the cross, not only during this season of Lent, where we deeply remember, prayerfully, we reflect the passion, death of Jesus, each time you remember that Jesus is there with us always. I'll just recall one incident. Recently, it happened. Once one of our parishioners came to see me in the office, and he was sharing the problems that he was going through in his business and the problems that he is going to encounter. So I didn't have an instant answer for him. And I said, "My brother, be assured of my prayers and continue to pray. I also will pray for you." Then I asked him to go to the church. I think I already shared once this. It recently happened. And I said, "You go, just kneel before the altar, look at the crucifix, and just offer your prayer to Him, and God will listen to your prayer and solve all the hardships, all the problems that you go through." And a week ago, I met him again, and he said, the prayer that he made just in front of the altar here, he said, "Father, I didn't know what to pray. I didn't know what to tell Jesus. But I just looked at the cross and I told Jesus, I cannot bear this pain. I cannot face this challenge. Still, if you want me to go through this pain, if you want me to suffer this, let's suffer together. Let's face together. You come, let's face together." And in tears, he offered that prayer. He said, he went back home. He said, "But I have the real peace in my heart. I don't look at the challenges as challenges because I know Jesus is with me. to suffer together. And he says, I see my problems are being cleared. Gradually, I'm being built up, and I have the strength to face the challenges. Look at Jesus each time in this same way. Jesus is